go to a happier place, which is my friendship with my dog Jade?
Yes, let's do that.
And the way that I want to take you to that happy place is by quoting one more poem from Jim Morrison, the bearded local in Schenectady, New York. Are we on the right path where will and conscience join and then melt into tomorrow's twilight? Like the priestly caterpillar, we'll take wing and fly. How far and how high to catch a star in cold blue sky? A blacksmith's billowed breeze fills our tender new wings and girds us onward in this race for time. That video that I showed you, that was a second poem that I did not have time to show you.
You think that's good?
I thought that was pretty good.
Okay.
It's better when he says it, I guess. He's got a rhythm to it.
Yeah, well, now that you slowed it down and I was actually able to see what the words were.
The first one's pretty good, though. Skip down a road clothed in simple innocence, where wiser men strode in their youthful exuberance. Take a share in our heritage and grow from a seed planted with the experience.
But he also, I mean, let's just be honest, he rhymed innocence and exuberance. Not really a rhyme. Then he rhymed heritage with experience, which is definitely not a rhyme.
No, exuberance and experience rhyme. We have not been to the beach much. It's like also.
Is this a new poem?
Yeah, it's called "We Have Not Been to the Beach Much."
We've not been to the beach much.
So
we haven't been to the beach as such.
And we used to, as a family, we used to go to the beach a lot, and then we used to
go to the beach a bunch.
Go to the beach a bunch, and then we got out of that. And one of the reasons over the past year is because we've got Jade, and it's like, well, I mean, you're limited amount of time you can spend on the beach if your dog's in like a kennel or just back home. But I searched for dog beach. And there's only like, in all of Los Angeles, there's only like 3. And one of them's like way north of Malibu.
Not too far.
But there's one called Susie's Dog Beach, or I'm pretty sure that's right. Like it's basically just south of Long Beach, basically Long Beach. So I decided to...
That's a pretty long ways away too.
Well, I mean, it was like an hour drive, but it's not that... That's as close as any beach that you can take a dog to.
There's no dog beach closer to that than that?
Than 1 hour away.
That can't be true. We got to do something about this. We need to get some legislation passed.
Well, you haven't even been, brother.
Have you been down to... I've been down to just beaches in L.A., and there's syringes and 40s and all kinds of stuff just all over the beach. Why can't you just let a freaking dog be on the beach?
Well...
Get a grip.
I mean, adding dog crap and pee-pee into that mix doesn't improve it.
Mayor Eric Garcetti, I am calling on you. I know you're a fan of the show. Don't know if you watch more, but if you are, if you do, welcome.
I love the fact that you're fighting for this and I haven't even told you my story. I don't know what's at stake
I'm anticipating that your story is so good and you had such a good time that we need to have more good times closer. So, Mr. Garcetti, please, let's talk about this. Link and I will make an appearance before the city council. Is that what it happens? I don't care what it is, but we'll bring our dogs and we'll wear bathing suits. We'll do it on the beach.
Yeah, bring it to us, Garcetti.
Bring everybody to the beach.
I read the Yelp reviews and they said that it's a clean beach. So that helped me because...
Okay.
And then we show up with Jade and there's dogs everywhere on the beach. It's like I couldn't even tell where the beach ended and the ocean began.
Every beach-loving dog in the Los Angeles basin is there.
Is driving there.
There's no place to go, Eric.
And we got there early. It was like 10 a.m. And there were like huge dogs. Like when we walked up with like Jade, it's like first time she's like on sand like this. It's like a little kid seeing snow for the first time. And then these 2 German shepherds barrel past us.
Yeah, dogs that take craps bigger than your dog.
Yeah, one with like a GoPro strapped to its back.
Really?
No owner in sight. I think the owner was inside of the GoPro.
Controlling it from his apartment in downtown Los Angeles. GoPro doesn't want to go all the way to Long Beach.
GoPros can do that. And we let her off of her leash once we got down to the ocean. Well, it's a leashless place, Rhett. That's the premise.
Is there a fence around it?
No, there's no fence. There's no nothing. It just leads to the adjacent beach, where they allow jet ski.
Oh, jet ski beach.
Jet ski beach and the dog beach right next to each other. Where, I mean, throughout Los Angeles, they're very protective. You can't even surf on some beaches where there's people are swimming. You know? Let's shove the dogs and the jet skis over here. Did not see a dog on a jet ski, but I thought I almost was going to because some dogs almost got on one that was taken off.
Really?
2 terriers.
Wow.
take Jade off the leash, and she starts bolting around like at a speed I've never seen this dog go. And I told Christy, I was like, I take so much joy in having this dog. Why do we have kids when we could just skip to the dog?
Yeah, well, tell everybody that hasn't had kids yet.
Just skip to the dog. Just kidding. We love our kids, but
we do.
I mean, I am continually amazed. I'm not ashamed to say how much of a dog person I've become. That like this dog is running around in exuberance, and it gives me joy untold. Unmatched in any other way.
You talk about this like you didn't understand how dogs worked.
So
before.
happy.
Have you never seen a dog run around?
I've never seen
joy?
a dog so happy. And then it felt great to have the dog run around everywhere. And then she came and sat down next to me, and this basset hound came up and started sniffing around. And then she was like, like, this is now our spot. You got to stay out of here, Basset. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then the kids run down into the water.
What about the dumps, though?
People are cleaning up dumps, like grabbing.
Exactly, Mayor Garcetti.
They're cleaning
you think
up.
we're just a bunch of slobs?
But they're grabbing the dumps at all times.
Yeah, I mean,
very responsible.
I don't even let my dog's dump hit the sand.
Well,
I see her. No, I can see Barbara from a mile away. I
it's
see
not
her. She
like
gets in that position, and I'm fast. I got long arms. Boom, I'm there. I'm catching it, not with my bare hand, but with a bag. Listen, that's part of the thing. I'll present it to the council.
You got to catch it before it hits.
Yeah, we promise. At least the two of us.
You got to get a tall-legged dog if you want to catch.
We promise to catch the poop before it hits the sand.
Jade's legs are too short for me to do that. I'm gonna have to dig a hole and back her up to it and put my hand under there, and I'm not doing that. I still have pride.
Pick her up while she's doing it.
Well, there was a dog that was doing it as squatting like right down there where the water was coming up, and then the owner ran out there and grabbed the dog and pulled it back so it could poop somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly, because we're not idiots. People are not idiots. A lot of people are.
It was a bit scary, and then so Jade jumped in the water by accident, and then Lily like rescued her and pulled her out. But I took her into the water and made her swim all the way back.
How do you jump into the ocean by accident?
Well, because it comes at you, and you're a dog that's never been there, and you don't realize that like I'm not just going towards this water.
She was overtaken.
It's coming at me.
She was
at the same
overtaken
time.
by the ocean.
And then Jade just kind of chilled out with us, and I felt like a king. When you got a dog just sitting there protecting you, you feel like a king. And I said, Lando, you want me to
protect you?
Yeah, like when a basset comes up. Mm-hmm. And Lando got bored, and I was like, Lando, you want me to dig a hole? Because I brought a shovel. So I dug a big hole, big enough for my son to get into. I said, now I bury you. He didn't like that joke. I didn't bury him. And then we took the sand from the hole, and we built a castle with it. And then a bulldog comes up and pees all over it.
Yeah. Sounds like a great day.
When we were leaving,
you're really selling this dog beach. We really got to work on your story before we go to. Go to the mayor. I'm saying. I mean, I really had.
We're talking to the mayor right now.
I had incredible. I mean, he's quit watching by now. But I had incredible hopes for getting a dog beach closer. And then all you've told me so far is the dog ran around happy, which
joy.
I mean, that happens in my own house usually with Barbara.
Well,
then the dog got overtaken. The dog nipped at a basset hound, and then you built a sandcastle and another dog peed on it.
Basset hounds.
We got to sell the story better than this.
Yeah, so we're driving back home, and I'm like, kids, what did you think? Should we come back here? They said, well, the waves aren't that big because there's a wave break. But Jade had a really good time. It gave me unmatched joy.
Yeah,
That's what my kids said.
Yep.
And then Lando said, well, I really liked it. I liked seeing all the dogs. But the problem is whenever you build something, a dog comes along and pees on it. I was like, well, that's
good.
That's real, man. That is real.
Maybe that's why they don't have dog beaches in the rest of LA.
But speaking of which, tell me about the freak show. Just kidding.
Well, I got invited in when they saw me walk back.
You walked back?
They were like, "There's a man without the bottom half of a face. Come in." Actually, I was my nephews were in town, and I was like, I got to show them a good time. I'm going to take them to the freak show. No, one of the things I like to do with people who visit is I like to take them to Venice, because, and the way I like to do it is I like to do the bike ride from Santa Monica to Venice, and then lock your bike up well in Venice, and then you traipse around Venice.
So you rented a bike in a lot.
Yeah. So you just it's so.
What about Segways though? You could have done that.
I don't trust kids on Segways.
I think there's an age limit.
And I don't want to be on a Segway. I don't want to draw that much attention to myself. I'm already 6'7".
You want to be able to get
over
away.
7 feet tall. But The thing I like about Venice is it's such a caricature of Southern California. It's so over the top, so ridiculously seedy, the whole thing, and all the people who are just selling all kinds of crazy stuff, all the people doing these activities that you're like, what is that guy doing? He's walking on his pinkies,
Dressed like a doctor.
selling something, and so you just get to see all walks of life. So I took them down there. They were absolutely amazed. And we get next to that sort of the middle part of Venice where you got that guy and he's talking like this. He's kind of a Southern guy. He talks just like this. And he's like,
He's a barker.
we've got a 5-legged dog inside here. Mom, come, we bring the kids. It's all family friendly for all ages.
Where's the leg?
And we've got 2-headed turtle. In fact, we've got a 2-headed turtle right out front. You can see this one for free, but we've got a 3-headed turtle on the inside.
Good.
You're gonna see the half woman today. You're gonna see the sword swallower. You're gonna see a woman who can withstand 100,000 volts. Makes it sound
And they
very,
have a
very
television
interesting.
show, right? Drew?
Yeah, I don't know if it's still on, but it was on AMC.
On AFC? So you went in, huh?
I went in, and first of all, I had to do some coaxing of Locke. I didn't take Shepard. It was just Locke and then his 2 cousins. And
You didn't want to go in?
Locke and neither Locke nor Isaiah wanted to go in. They were kind of like, and I saw the look on their faces like, guys, he said it was all ages. You guys are all ages. We're all ages. Let's just go in.
Well, you were 3.
And I'm
8
like-
particular ages.
I'm like, it's going to be a little freaky. That's the whole point. But this is an experience that you'll remember every night when you're going to sleep for the rest of your life.
What
so,
now?
So come inside, kids.
What can you tell us without giving it all away?
Well,
or are you just going to give it all
They
away?
rotate different people in and out, right? So there's first of all, it's $5. It's $5. It's not like it was just one of the cheaper things on the Venice Boardwalk. So it's not
You
like
can't
a
get
$20 thing.
you can't get a scoop of ice cream for $5.
Nothing, and I mean nothing is less than $5 on the Venice Boardwalk. So we go in there, and the first thing they do is there's a show, and that just depends on who happens to be there. And
So you sat down in a seat? Or were you
some
like,
people, we got in a little bit late, so there were seats, and then the kind of standing room. But I kind of like brought Locke and Isaiah over to the side and like put them right next to the stage because like you guys are gonna see this, you guys are gonna address this.
And then you left.
And I'm not gonna tell you any specifics about the people because I don't want to ruin the show. I mean,
Was it real stuff? Come on, tell us. Was it real stuff?
yeah. But here, okay, I'll tell you. So the first guy gets up there, and he has like warts all over his face, like just completely covered in warts. Warts, but it starts off while he's not trying to scare you. He's like, I feel welcome here. This is my home, and at the freak show, I can be myself. And it's kind of like a positive self-image reinforcement exercise for all the people who are part of the show. And so it totally disarms you. And then he takes his shirt off, and he is covered in warts. It's you've seen this kind of thing. There's people who have this disorder. You can Google image search that. But because because he's disarmed you, you're like,
He's cool. He's a human.
you're like, that's cool, man.
He's not a freak anymore.
That's this guy's thing.
What, did he do a show?
No, that's his show. He shows you.
Himself.
He shows you his body. That's his show. That's all
He literally shows you.
That's all he's got to do.
Oh.
Then there's a dude who gets up there.
There was no show and touch.
And puts hooks in his mouth and through his nose and swallows a sword. He's kind of like the MC. He was. Kind of looks like a warlock. Kind of got like black makeup around his eyes.
I've seen him out
the
front.
boots, and he's got the long blonde hair.
Did he also say this is like a family to me?
He was a little more mysterious.
Okay.
Than the war guy, but it's still you didn't. Basically, it's not the kind of thing like this is 2016, right? This isn't like 1956 where you go in there and you're like supposed to ooh and ah at these weird looking people and everybody's supposed to think that it's gross. That's just like you can't do that anymore, right? So it's like these people are realizing themselves in the context of the freak show, which I'm sure that's what the show. That's why they were able to do it on AMC, and it was entertaining. And I kind of felt like not only was it like
What was the most sensational thing?
The most sensational thing that happened in the show, I mean, the dude putting the hook through his mouth and coming out of his nose and then like opening up his mouth for you to see was kind of difficult to deal with a little bit. And then the girl who did who like she can like withstand 100,000 volts. She also has like a corset on, and her waist is like that big around.
What?
I think that's the ticket for withstanding the high.
You cinch up the midsection.
Electricity can't get
through there.
It's too small. And
Creates a bottleneck.
She was mysterious.
But it's not in the neck, it's in the waist.
And you could hand her a light bulb while she was hooked up to this thing, and it would light up.
Really?
Yep.
Did you have a light bulb on you?
I gave her all the light bulbs I had. That's why I don't have any now.
Right.
No, they gave her one.
They gave her one.
Yeah, and then after that show, then you could take this little tour, and that's when they've got like the animals. Like there's a woman holding a little dog that's got 5 legs, and it's really just a dog that's got one leg that kind of branches.
That she's actually just holding?
Yeah, and you can pet him. He's cool. He's just a little cute little dog, and you're like, oh yeah, he's just got a double leg. Who cares? I don't care. All dogs should have double legs.
Did he talk?
And then he begins talking.
Good.
Yeah. No, he doesn't talk. He does do a little trick with it. They give him a little spoon and he like stirs something.
Like creamer in coffee?
Yeah. He actually takes a chopstick in each one of the 2 legs, and then he eats an egg roll.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He's very famous. And then there's a 2-headed snake. Can't touch that one. I mean, it's for it's
$5.
best deal on the Venice Boardwalk.
On the Vegas.
It's also in Vegas. They've just expanded. But it's kind of disarming. You kind of like
you leave.
You go in thinking like, I feel a little bit sick for doing this. Like I'm feeding into some demented side of me. Like I'm gonna go and exploit somebody. But then you get in there and you realize like, no, it's perfectly natural to be interested in people who are different than what you would consider normal. And the reason that they're doing it is because this is a way for them to use their disability in their favor and make some money doing it. And they disarm you, and you're kind of like, you walk out with like a different view. I mean, they're doing a service down there on the Venice Boardwalk for the people.
Broaden your horizons. Visit a freak show.
And I ended up stealing the little dog.
I see it. It's right down there. She's quiet.
It's a he.
He's quiet.
Yeah, actually 6 legs.
Well, I'm going to school to be an esthetician.